To the ring area of Sonny Liston and Henry Clark in the main event today. And let's make it very clear that we're not going to make anything out of this bout that it's not. It's not a championship bout. It is, as we remarked at the top of the show, a traditional bout in the boxing sense. The old fighter hoping to recapture someday his championship. The young fighter moving upward, now rated number 5 in all the heavyweight ratings, dreaming of using the former champion as a stepping stone. Angie, I think we should discuss the California scoring system because in past fights it's proved so terribly controversial.
Well, I'm going to be scoring it actually with the California system. In other words, how they score out here is if a fellow wins a round, he gets 1 point, the loser gets nothing. Get high is up to 5 points. But I don't see anybody getting 5-point rounds unless the fight is over completely.
It's never happened in the history of the state.
It shouldn't happen. I mean, I feel if a fellow gets a knockdown in the round, should get 2 points. So it's going to be interesting. I want to score at California.
All right. The California scoring system, if a fighter wins the round, he could get from 1 to 5 points. If a fighter loses a round, he gets no points. The fighter rarely, if ever, gets more than 2, although in a Patterson-Quarry bout in Los Angeles, Quarry was given 3 by one judge for a flash knockdown in the 4th round. A fighter can win more rounds than he loses in California, but still lose the fight because the other fighter has amassed more points under this point-scoring system. If a round is even, neither fighter gets any points. Now, we do have the mandatory 8 count today, but we have an interesting twist. A man can be losing the fight heavily and win it after the bell for the final or 10th round. Explain that, Angie.
Well, if a fella's down at the final round, the count continues, even though it's the last round. The bell rings and the fella keeps counting. They can count 10. The fella was knocked out is the loser. The man standing upright is the winner. In other words, there's no 3 knockdown rule here. You can be knocked down as many times as you wish, the discretion of the referee.
Okay. Now, Henry Clark. He used to fight a little like Muhammad Ali when he began. He doesn't now. He fights to the inside. Is this good against Liston?
Well, this kind of a style with the Liston of old couldn't live with Liston because he ate up that style. It was proven with Patterson. Anybody that bows down to Liston gets knocked out. Now, the interesting thing is this Liston of today is what I want to see. I want to see what Father Time has taken out of the guy. Now, what I noticed about Clark, I watched him in training for about 10 days while I was here with Jimmy Ellis in Oakland. And this guy, he's the worst gym fight I ever saw, Howard.
Okay, Angie. Well, earlier in the telecast, you saw both fighters, and over the years, you have doubtless come to know Sonny Liston. We've been talking about Henry Clark. Let's meet this rising, but still relatively unknown youngster, age 23, Henry Clark. Liston used to terrify opponents in the ring right before the fight with a baleful stare. He'll try the same tactic on you. You got any fear of this man?
No, I don't fear Liston or no other man for that matter. I think if I fear a guy, I'd say train a little harder for him and maybe box an extra round or maybe even run an extra mile. And I think I've given Liston his due respect in doing, say, a hard day's work in the gym.
You continue to predict that you'll knock him out?
Yes, I think I'll knock him out. I won't say go to challenge day. I go right out and say slug with this guy because he's a pretty good puncher, and I respect him because of it. But say at my style or on my terms, I say I'll knock Liston out.
How do you square that prediction with the fact that in 21 fights you've only registered 3 KOs?
Well, I'll tell you, out of the 21 fights that I had, 17 of the opponents went down in the first round. But by me not being the aggressive fighter, somewhat with the killer instinct, I say I didn't knock the opponents out. But with Liston, I'm in top shape. I've never been in this condition in my life, say, for a fight. And I think I'll have a pretty good chance of knocking him out even earlier.
Now, in one of your prior answers, you mentioned the word style. Describe your style to our viewers.
Well, I changed my style according to the opponent that I fight. Liston is a very aggressive fighter. I like to fight aggressive fighter, maybe like a Frazier or Liston. These guys never stop coming. And then, say, with their aggressiveness, they leave themselves open to be knocked out with the hopes of knocking another man out. And I think I'll have an easy go with Liston.
Well, I understand you're saying that, but how will you fight the fight? On the inside, body punching?
Well, I'll be, say, inside with body punches. I'll be, say, moving from side to side. But at no time will I ever move back because I move back from no one now. Because I think a forward style is, say, the best style I have in boxing.
One last question. You began your career emulating Muhammad Ali in style. Any traces of that left?
No, there isn't any traces of that left. I tell you, I think Muhammad Ali is one of the, say, greater fighters that we've had in all times. And at the beginning of my career, I wanted to say publicity, and to get publicity, you do anything. And this was one of the ways to get publicity. And that way, I fought, say, someone like a Muhammad Ali. I never got hit, say, shots, because I was always moving and dancing. And this was a nice thing to do, I guess.
But it's changed. Good luck to you tonight.
Thank you very much, Howard.
All right, we'll be back in a moment. Let's take a look at Charles Sonny Liston on the night that he won the heavyweight championship of the world. It was September 25, 1962, at what was then known as Comiskey Park, Chicago, the first of two fights between Patterson and Liston for the heavyweight championship of the world. Patterson playing Liston's game, not moving at all. Liston's blows ponderous in their impact, the hands much quicker than people really believed possible. Patterson was a sitting duck in this fight. You saw him just staggered by a left. Now he's helpless against the ropes as Liston flails away with a right and a left. And Patterson is to be counted out. The time, 2 minutes and 11 seconds. The first round, Sonny Liston had become the heavyweight champion of the world. There is Sonny Liston in training for a fight now against a man much younger, Henry Clark, age 23. Sonny Liston desperately dreaming of again becoming the champion. The odds seemingly overwhelmingly against him. He's in Las Vegas, Nevada now. That's his hometown. It's a long way from Lewiston, Maine to Las Vegas. And Sonny always did like to play the tables. Some said he trained for the second Patterson fight at those tables. He lives here at the Stardust Golf Club. Doesn't play golf, lives just off the course, rides the course frequently. A back view of his lavish home, there's the front. $85,000 it's supposed to have cost, and Sonny owns 2 Cadillacs. He's got a lush home, lovely swimming pool. Not bad for a guy who lost one fight sitting on a stool, and another when he was felled in the first by a seemingly invisible punch. He does like kids, that's why those swings were there. And he loves to fish. Fishes often up at Lake Mead, Nevada, with one of his best friends to this day, the former heavyweight champion, Joe Louis. And that's where the fishing is done. Right now, he's in training for this battle against Clark. He's giving it all he's got. And he has trained probably harder for this fight by far than for any other fight in his recent comeback campaign. Running every morning, punching every afternoon. It remains to be seen whether or not his training regimen has enabled him to develop enough stamina to last against a younger opponent, if last he must, if he can't do away with Clark in a hurry. Tree chopping is part of the campaign. I remember once another big part of it was his then trainer, Willie Reddish, throwing the big medicine ball into the belly, with Liston not even grunting and the crowd oohing and awing in disbelief because of his tremendous strength. Well, that's where he trains, the new Oakland gym. It's right above that Dime a Dance place. He's been training this fight to be held, as you know, right here in the Cow Palace in San Francisco. Liston was always great with the heavy bag. That's to develop strength, hands and the wrists and the arms. He was great with the light bag, too, where you have to develop speed. Sonny now working out with a sparring partner, and incidentally, Liston has denied vigorously the published stories to the effect that a sparring partner, Mac Foster, knocked him out in a recent session. These tight shots reflect what it's like to be facing Liston. That's his manager, Dick Sadler. In effect here, you're getting a prism shot of what it might be like if you were struck by Liston, possibly the old Liston. It remains to be seen what it would be like to be struck by the present Liston. Clark will show us that. Well, Sonny Liston will be back in a moment. This is Henry Clark, age 23, who runs 8 miles every day of his life, getting up at 4 in the morning to do it. Who dreams of becoming one day the heavyweight champion of the world, and who dreams of using Liston, the former champion, as a stepping stone. Henry Clark in the gym is good to watch. He is quick with the hands. He is quick with the feet. You see him on the right, in the blue trunks. And note that he fights inside. He is an effective body puncher. And watch for that in the fight against Liston. He is a homegrown favorite, native San Franciscan, and the folks come out to see him. He has fought 21 times professionally. He has lost but 3. However, he has scored only 2 knockouts. Works the light bag to swiffen those hands. This is where he works when he's not fighting for the American Can Company. He takes home a little more than $100 a week. His job, loading and packing heavy machinery and equipment for shipment overseas. The streets of San Francisco are his haven. And that apartment building is where he lives, together with his wife, Memphis, and their 28-month-old child. But for Henry Clark, as he runs the beaches, there is the dream that Liston will go, and after that, who knows? Frazier Ellis. This is what he thinks about as he works in the gym and talks to himself.
A square. Bring me a pair.
Inevitably, there is the rope jumping and skipping, swiffing the legs, swiffing the feet, gain the agility and the stamina for what may be a long fight. 10 rounds it could go, unless he can put away Liston early, as Liston figures he in turn will do to Clark. Always he is thinking about the job at hand. Boxing, loading the equipment, and running. Henry Clark, and we'll be back in a moment. Construction like Muhammad Ali, whom he confessed he once emulated. The roars of the crowd in the background, the former heavyweight champion of the world is coming down. Charles Sonny Liston will be entering the ring in a moment without the birth certificate that he's been carrying all over town. The birth certificate that says he is 36. Sammy Stein is the ring announcer. He'll be introducing the participants. The referee will be Frank Carter of San Francisco. The judges, Jack Downey and Jack Silver, also of San Francisco. The timekeeper, Emmett Stevens. All right, the noise of the crowd. Liston in there, wrapped up in his towel with robes underneath it and the hood. Old-fashioned style. He'll have the baleful, sinister look, you can be sure. Whether or not he's got the old skills remains to be seen. He'll have to prove that. Angelo Dundee, please quickly explain why Liston pads himself up under the robe that way.
Well, this is an image he used to project when he was licking everybody, knocking
Main
everybody.
event,
He wanted
10 rounds. Introducing weighing 219 pounds from Las Vegas, Nevada, seeking to regain recognition in the heavyweight spotlight, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Sonny Liston.
Sonny Liston at 219 pounds. Now the introduction of...
In the blue corner, from San Francisco, California, weighing 215 pounds, the 5th ranked heavyweight in the world, California's heavyweight champion, Henry Clark.
Henry Clark at 215. When they get in the middle of the ring for the instructions, let's watch Liston to see if he's still got that stare. Angie Dundee was telling you before he gave way to Sammy Stein, the ring announcer, that Liston would pad himself up for psychological impact against the adversary. That was in the old days. Now watch Liston. What you're seeing is a kind of repeat of what happened in February 1964 And May of 65, Liston trying to stare Clark down. Away tried to stare Ali down, and he didn't get away with it, did he, Angie?
No, Clark wouldn't stand for it, and he actually walked away from it.
Round one.
Clark has come to fight, Howard.
Well, we'll see if it's the right style against Liston. Liston's best punch has always been the left jab. Used to look 10 feet long. Tremendous power. Don't misunderstand, he had a good right, too. Liston in the white trunks, Clark in the black trunks. Round one. The first time Liston has been seen by this whole nation since Dominic's Arena, Lewiston, Maine, May 25, 1965. And he wasn't seen long. Liston keeps coming at you, coming at you, coming at you. His style hasn't changed at all. There's about a minute to go in round one. And I must say, Angelo, that Liston's belly looks trim.
Liston looks like he's in real good shape, and he's starting at a real fast pace. And this is where Clark has to live with him to become successful against him.
Liston is getting to him steadily.
It's a real good Liston round, Howard.
The end of round one. All right, you're looking at Henry Clark's record, 15-3, 2-2. 2 no decisions, 2 draws. A good round for Sonny Liston, as Angelo Dundee, my confrere at ringside, noted. A very good round for Liston. Clark sitting directly above us, being worked on now by his people. In Clark's corner, Joe Herman, his manager, Enoch Yip, and Richard Clark, his 20-year-old brother, who's a basketball star. In Liston's corner, of course, his manager, Dick Sadler, Alan Moore, and Johnny Natchez. And I think the key question here is whether or not Clark's style is a sensible one against the ponderous power of Liston.
Carried the play real good that time, Clark. Clark's going to have to change his style of fighting, or he's going to take a man-sized licking, because he's waiting for Liston to come to him. He's waiting on a dime, and Liston will get to him that way.
This is round 2, just underway. Those of you who remember the manner in which Muhammad Ali fought Liston, because he was the guy who beat him twice, it was by circling steadily and swiftly to the left and avoiding that Liston left jab. There was the left jab into the high midriff. He hurt Clark then with a left.
Clark has got to start moving on this fella. He's going to take a real bad licking. He's got to keep moving and stay busy. Otherwise, he's just going to catch punches all night long.
At home, you can see that Liston left. Coming, coming, coming. Liston forcing the fight steadily. He's forced it from the opening bell. Somebody is yelling at Clark, show that he's not afraid. He's not afraid. With a minute to go in the second round, we repeat, the question is one of style. You fight Liston's fight when you fight the way Clark is now fighting.
The longer the fight goes, Howard, the better for this kid. But he's starting to move a little bit because he realizes he can't stay right there on a dime with Liston. Liston's too strong.
Two good, strong left jabs by Liston. Another left, that one not as strong.
And Henry takes some punch, Howard. That was two good shots. He got a left hook and right hand.
See the clock counting down for the end of the second round. 10 seconds.
A truly great lady knows the importance of this phrase. Now repeat after me. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Oh, great Scott. No. Now, once more, please.
When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
That's more like it. Quality never comes easy. Schlitz is most carefully brewed for flavor, gusto, and aroma, with absolutely no trace of beer bite. This is pure beer. This is Schlitz.
If you like it, like with a big taste too, there's only one brew that will do.
Good show.
When you're out of Schlitz,
Outrageous.
you're out of beer.
Schlitz.
The beer that made Milwaukee famous.
Round 3, clock was up with 20 seconds remaining before the start of the third round, just to show Liston he's still strong. Liston was huffing and puffing a little in the corner between the rounds. Liston is missing a lot of punches too, Angelo.
Yeah, but that jab is getting in there. When this fella jab is working, he's a real destructive fighter. Clark must start throwing leather, Howard, or he's not going to be in there.
You fight your fight here and forget about the rest of them. Come on.
Frank Carter, by the way, again the referee.
Right cross, stick him, Henry. Stick him, Henry. No, Henry. No. Stick with him. Right cross, Henry. Right cross, Henry.
Clark can stay away and then fight in flurries and make Liston miss. As the rounds pass, Liston could be in difficulty.
Get away.
Liston really leveled him to the head with a flurry of blows there, as you saw.
Right cross, Henry. Punch out of there. Right cross. Punch out of there. Stick. No, Henry.
That shot really hurt me right up.
First time Clark was really hurt, and he was just staggered. This could be the end. Clark comes back punching, but he went halfway through the ropes, as you saw, or quarter way.
Stay right in there. That's it. Back of him. Back of him.
Clark is fighting on youth and courage at the moment, Angie.
Yes, he's taking all the shots that Liston's got to offer. He's staying right in there taking them. He shouldn't be in there.
Clark is running out, and this is the third round. Liston the white trunks, Clark the black trunks. The fight thus far decisively Sonny Liston.
There goes that youth, Howard. The longer this fight goes, Howard, the better this kid's going to get if he's still upright.
The end of round 3, and we have here, I must report it, what Angelo Dundee calls a ding-a-ling bell. Very hard to hear. Clark was able to survive Liston's heaviest blows that round. He came back with a late round flurry of his own, as you saw, that didn't do a lot of damage, except for the fact that it showed Liston that this young man will be very difficult to knock out.
Takes an amazing punch. I thought he was out when he was over in his own corner. Now, if the longer he goes on, the tougher it's going to get for Liston, because Liston shows a little slight wear and tear in there. And Liston will blow up if this kid stays in there. The longer he stays in, the better for Henry Clark.
One knows that Liston is after Liston's record you just saw. He has won 29 fights, lost only 3, 2 to Muhammad Ali, 1 to Marty Marshall, no draws, 29 knockouts. When one knows that Liston faces a stamina problem, one has to wonder why so young a man as Clark would keep coming at Liston rather than staying away to wear the opponent down. Right lead to the stomach, the follow with the left by Clark, which did not really connect. But Clark fighting differently this round, Angelo.
Well, he's doing better than he did before by laying in there and take punches. He must take the play. He must be aggressive with him now. Liston looking to conserve his strength, Howard. Right now he's laying back and he's not looking to throw too much leather himself.
Punch him out.
Remember, Henry Clark has knocked out only 2 men in 21 fights. However, he has floored 17 opponents in the very first round.
Good left hook. Another one.
Clark's best flurry of the fight. That was a slapping right, really, that Clark connected against Liston. Now Clark is the aggressor. He buffeted Liston against those ropes and took command, but Liston now has Clark in the corner directly above us. Sonny is fighting. A strong, strong man, that Liston, to this day.
Clark's taking an amazing punch. He continues to surprise me because he's getting hit real good punches right on his chin.
Hurt.
10 seconds. Come on.
There goes that Liston jab, Howard.
Got her?
Clark has a swelling over his left eye.
More coffee, darling?
No, thanks.
Robert? Robert, darling.
Ellen, never interrupt an L&M smoker.
But Robert...
When I light up an L&M, I don't want to be interrupted.
But there's...
I want to stay with it because L&M's balanced blend gives good taste from end to end.
But Robert, there's a big black bear.
Ellen, darling, never interrupt an L&M smoker. Like I said, never interrupt an L&M smoker.
When you light up an L&M, you want to stay with it because L&M's balanced blend gives good taste from end to end.
Never interrupt an L&M smoker.
L&M Kings and Golden Hundreds.
We're back in the Cow Palace in San Francisco, round 5. Clark in the black trunks, Liston in the white. Thus far, a very one-sided fight. Angelo Dundee scoring most unofficially, as you know, but most knowledgeably, has Liston ahead, 4 points to none, giving Liston each and every round. Liston measures with that left.
Those shots in the body might be taking their toll on Liston because I noticed he's reaching for him. And the referee just warned him about those body punches. Clark's giving him a little bit of movement now. He should have been doing this right along. It's necessary, giving Liston movement. She had that abrasion at the end of the round. There goes Liston's jab. I love to watch him when he jabs. I think he has a beautiful jab.
This is the 5th round. Liston against Clark. Clark in the black trunks, Liston in the white. Important step in Liston's comeback campaign thus far. He's beaten a bunch of ham and eggers leading up to this fight. Only seconds to go in this round. We'll be back in a moment on ABC's Wide World of Sports right after this word from our local station.
Henry Fonda and Janice Rule star on the Sunday night movie on ABC.
Hey, Yipper, what are you doing? bucket.
We go to round 6, Liston against Clark. Liston in white, Clark in black of a thus far very one-sided fight, with Clark doing little and not showing very much in perfect candor. Not meant critically, just stating what's happened.
I think that Liston around this time is wondering what's keeping this kid up, because he got that quizzical look on his face, wondering what's, every time I hit him a shot, he should go down, but he's not going down. He has a tremendous chin clock. But you don't win fights by taking a good punch. You got to throw leather, and that's what he's not doing right now.
Just re-identifying Jimmy Ellis's manager, Angelo Dundee, as my colleague at ringside. Angie has it, Liston 5 points, Clark none, giving Liston all 5 rounds up till now.
I don't know. He should.
If Liston goes on to win this fight, he will then be seeking a fight against a top-rated adversary, if not a championship bout, which he won't get immediately. What would you predict for him?
Oh, this will definitely project him into the heavyweight division real big now, because Clark in his last fight did beat Leotis Martin, a very good fighter. Now, I'm always a believer of this. The ball game's not over yet.
We have 1.5 minutes to go in the 6th round. It is a 10-round fight.
Something new has been added to the Clark repertoire. He's jabbing for the first time. I should have been doing that a long time ago. He's throwing a lot of feints.
Good right. Good right by Clark.
Left hand's doing a job right now.
Move, move. Punch and move. Punch and move.
That was a good right hand by Liston.
It sure was.
That put the staggers in there.
Move, Henry.
Clark was in trouble momentarily.
He's hurt now. He's hurt.
Move, get out of there.
He is hurt. He's rubbery legged. His eyes are glazed. Let's see if Liston can do the job.
Move out of there.
The corner is yelling to Clark to move, as you heard, but there's not that much movement left in him at the moment. The task is now Liston's to see if he's got enough left in him to finish.
Here, Henry.
Well, that was the end of round 6, and I guess you got to rack that up for Liston. And let's take a little look at slow motion, Angie. Now watch this, Angie.
It's remarkable this kid's still erect.
Now, Clark missing. There's that Liston jab, got in there. And the
Good
right.
righting.
And you could see the pain register in Clark's face. Clark now getting instructions in his corner. Henry Clark, who's only 23. Henry Clark, who decisively defeated Manuel Ramos on a bout he took on just 1 day's notice, and beat a toughie in Leotis Martin, as Angelo Dundee mentioned a moment or two ago. We're in round 7 now. The burly Liston still pursuing. Of course, Sonny has said repeatedly that if he lost this fight to young Clark, he would retire. But he's built up an awesome lead now. One would have to say that Clark would have to knock Liston out to win this bout at this point.
Oh,
Ange.
definitely. He's got to go real, real big. He's only got 4 rounds to do it, and he needs real big rounds. Because I got him way out, way behind.
He's trying.
Stay on him.
corner is yelling to Clark to stay on him.
Jab first, Henry.
It's a tremendous show of courage on Clark's part. I'm amazed he's still standing.
Although it might not show in the scoring of the bout, Angelo, and without any desire or attempt to take credit away from Liston, perhaps his failure to finish Clark off shows that he has slipped measurably. What would you say?
Oh, definitely, because if he had another fellow like that in that position, he would have got him out of there.
Punch out that
But this kid's still erect.
This is the 7th round. Both fighters said that this fight would not go past the 7th round, and we've got a minute to
Clark
go.
is badly hurt.
Clark
He
is
got hurt
really
with that
hurt.
left hook. He got hurt near the rope. Looks like the end of the ball game, Howard. He's definitely hurt.
If it ends here, Liston has made his prediction stand up because at the moment Clark is a punching bag for him, but now Clark backs off.
jab. Jab first. Punch both hands.
It is incredible, really incredible that Clark is still standing up there. He is taking some beating. This is it. Referee Frank Carter has stopped the fight. Liston's prediction stands up. Liston is declared the winner by a technical knockout in the 7th round. Charles Sonny Liston has registered his most important comeback victory. I'll be talking, hopefully, with Liston in the ring in just a few moments. We're awaiting the official ring announcement from Sammy Stein.
The winner,
There's the ring announcer, Sammy Stein.
of the 7th round, one step closer to regaining his lost heavyweight title. The winner, Sonny Liston.
All right, the official announcement. Sonny Liston, winner by a TKO, round 7. Back in a moment.
Set up a $30,000 life insurance estate overnight. Only $12 a month. This young father did. He's insured with Allstate. When he was 26, he wanted protection for his family, but he didn't think his budget could take it. Allstate proved otherwise, without a lot of fancy insurance talk. It's Allstate's basic protection plan, a low-cost way to provide the cash your family would need if anything happened to you. You can count on it being there. Here's life insurance in the Sears and Allstate tradition of value. Are you a young man thinking life insurance? Talk with an Allstate agent. He sells your kind of life insurance. $30,000 worth, just $12 a month. You're in good hands with Allstate.
All right, as you can see, I'm in the center of the ring with Charles Sonny Liston, the winner by a TKO over young Henry Clark in the 7th round. The fight went as you predicted. You said it wouldn't go past the 7th, remember?
Right. Well, he came out, he was a little fresh. And I felt that don't mess with him while he's fresh. You know, when guys get fresh, they get sassy.
You're feeling pretty chipper.
Yes, I am. Feel real good. I felt that I was just warming up in the 7th round.
In other words, you feel you established that you can still go the distance, still have the stamina.
Yes, I do.
This was a tough kid. He took a lot of punishment.
Yes, he did, and he's a good fighter.
Sonny, we are going to run in slow motion that final round, or at least the last seconds of it. If you look down at our monitor right over there, and you can talk for yourself, over yourself in action as we go in slow motion.
Well, I like the first.
There it is.
I gave Nat Fletcher from Philadelphia, John Natchez. He came all the way from Philadelphia to see me, to bring me a message from my old trainer, Joe Polina, which is had a stroke, and I hope he's done real good. Yet and still, he's still my trainer, regardless of what happens.
Okay. Okay, now, let's get back to that slow motion. We're going to reset it because you wanted to get in that word to your trainer, which we understand. Let me ask you this. Well, all right, there's the reset. You were all over him there, Sonny.
Yes, I felt that I shouldn't let him get away at this moment.
That's the punch.
Yes, and I felt that I had him right there, so I figured I better go all out for him.
All right, we're going to come back here live into the center of the ring. Sonny, what's your aim now? Whom do you want to fight next, and whom do you think you can get a fight against?
Well, when I fought down in Los Angeles, what's the kid's name?
Oh, Billy Joyner?
No, I fought Billy Joyner, but the guy that fought Patterson.
Oh, Jerry Quarry?
Jerry Quarry. So he said he was willing to fight me. He just had got out of the hospital from water skiing thing, and so we're going to talk to him, I imagine.
All right, Sonny. You're going to fight Jerry Quarry if you can. If you can beat him, you're really back in the picture. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Charles, Sonny, Liston, back in a moment.
You know, it's a wild thing about today's super-duper razor blades. They're so sharp, they'll cut any vegetable better than anything you have in your kitchen drawer. And what's even wilder is that you take that sharp thing and run it up and down your face. We figured out how to make it a little less dangerous. We invented Rise, and we put a thin lubricating film into it that gets between your sharp, sharp razor and your soft, soft skin. So you're a little less likely to scrape yourself and irritate yourself and maybe destroy yourself on the way to a close shave. This doesn't mean you'll never do anything to yourself, but at least it'll give you a fighting chance.
All right, let's go to New York and Jim McKay.
All right, Howard, thank you very much. And so things, in a way, have kind of come full cycle in the world of boxing. Wasn't too long ago, if you think back, that Sonny Liston was kind of considered the superhuman being, the unbeatable man. Remember, you used to see photographs of his muscles and of his tree trunk-like legs. And then suddenly came Muhammad Ali, and now Sonny Liston back on the way up. Well, that's not the end of ABC's Wide World.
Heavyweight champion Sonny